Morning, Coach.
Morning, Coach.
How are you?
Back again.
Recruiting Wednesday.
Yep.
I thought today would be good to talk about like showcase events, recruiting events.
Okay.
We get a lot of questions about what are good to go to, you know, and if there's more than this, let me know. But we either have a high school or a summer game.
Mm-hmm.
We have a showcase.
Yep.
And we have a institutional camp.
Correct.
Are there any more, you know, that you can?
No, that's basically your recruiting avenues.
Those are where you're going to actually go and see players.
Right.
And I think it's important to say that, you know, kids, there's a lot of services out there now that offer video and platforms.
Yep.
And just to talk a little bit about, before we even start on that, like the role that video plays. How do you guys use video?
Well, video comes in all the time. Kids will attach video. They'll attach game clips. They'll attach a workout video. They'll do the videos coming from PBR or the videos coming from, you know, the college recruiting services. But we use it a lot. I mean, it's the next best thing to being able to see the kid. So whenever, you know, you have the video, yeah, we would like it.
Yeah. And now I would imagine it's really important now, obviously, that we're not nobody's seeing players. So,
Right, right.
So it's getting a leg up and making sure you get your stuff out there.
But yeah, I mean, videos, you know, but with videos, you don't need the fancy music.
Yep.
You know, you don't need mommy and daddy editing in the background or cheering. You know, we just want to see the basic,
Simple.
simple.
Is there a length that you, like, it gets to a point where you look at it and say, man, I don't want to watch anymore? Like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, what's too long?
It varies. It varies. I mean, you definitely want to see the skills. You know, you want to see the fielding drills.
Yep.
You want to see throwing drills.
Yep.
You want to see hitting drills.
Yep.
If it's game situation, you want to see a couple of the bats. Not every at bat, but
Yep.
you know, you want to see a sample.
Yep. And what happens more often? Do you see videos and eliminate kids? Or do
Yeah.
you see-
Well, yeah, that happens. That happens a lot.
Right. So as a player, you got to be careful.
You
with-
got to be careful what you're sending.
Yeah.
It better be good.
And make sure somebody looks at it for you. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what we
yeah.
tell our guys, like, you know, because we have some talented kids in the program, but sometimes you put things on there that,
You don't,
be
again,
careful.
with the numbers that we talked about last week,
Yeah.
what you're gonna put in an email, it's the same thing.
Right.
You know, you do get eliminated by showing that.
okay, so we take video and we'll work our way to the in-person evals. Do you ever base a recruiting decision if you only have a video on? Would you?
No, you wanna follow up.
Yeah.
You're gonna see, live action.
Right.
You're gonna talk to people,
Right.
so.
So I'm gonna ask one more question, 'cause I get this question a lot. People they wig out. So somebody sends you a letter, say, hey, we have a camp, or for you guys, for Division II, you can come on campus
Yep.
and do a workout, right? So you can do a tryout, or you'll ask for a video, and sometimes kids, Coach Tonelli asked me for a video, and which is good. However, all right, if they get that video a month from now, or they get it, you know,
Well,
sometimes kids get crazy with, I think, Coach asked me for a video, he's not sitting at his desk
No.
waiting for your video.
No.
You know,
No.
like, you know, I think that's sometimes, you know, we're dealing with hundreds of kids.
Yes.
You know, so it's like, okay, like it's part of the process.
Right.
But
You know, a week, 2
Right.
weeks, yeah,
Right.
you don't have to do it right now.
Right.
But yeah, we want to see it.
Yep.
We do want to see it.
All right, great. So let's talk about like the simplest one. And for me, I remember it was to me the best thing to go see was going to see a kid in a game.
Yes.
Like if I'm going to a game,
I wanna see a game.
you're
I
playing
wanna
a
see-
summer game or you're playing a competitive high school game or maybe a state championship, and I get to see it soup to nuts. I'm not just seeing the skill set. I'm actually watching you warm up. We talked about it
Yeah.
last week. You know, how often a local kids from Connecticut? How many times? I mean, is there a certain amount of times you try and see a kid?
Try to see them 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
You know, if they're close enough, we'll see them more.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's only so many hours in a day. There's
Right.
only so many games we can go see.
Right.
We try to make best use of our time. You know, so, you know, yeah, we might catch you at a couple innings. one day, we'll see a full game the next week, we'll see another couple innings, because we're always looking to go someplace else
Right.
to see a couple innings of somebody else.
Background homework, so you go to a game, I remember going and, you know, I'm going to see, Foreign against New Canaan.
Mhm.
And so I'm in contact with both coaches,
Hey, do you have
or,
anybody?
right,
Yeah,
or there's a kid that we know plays for Foreign that I know is, you know, he was a good player, I saw him as a freshman and we're following him.
Right.
How much background work do you guys do before you go to a game?
We try to cover all that,
Yeah.
you know? We'll
So you
try-
know what you're going to see before you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, you try to touch base with the coach. Hey, who are your seniors? Who are your juniors? You know, who are your committed kids, so we
Yep.
can just cross them off.
Yep.
If there's too many of them, then maybe we don't go to that game.
Right.
We'll go to the next game.
Yep.
You know, we try to, again, make best use of our time.
Yep. And then let's talk about showcases, because showcases are interesting. You can spend anywhere from a couple $100 to $1,000.
Yeah,
And there are some really good ones out there.
and there are a lot of bad ones
A lot of
out
bad
there.
ones, you know, and I think it's, would you say, important to do some homework and research?
You should talk to people and find out which are the best showcases.
Yeah.
You know, for us, we go to a lot of the PBR showcases. We know Trevor, who
Yep.
runs it. Trevor's been very good to a lot of programs. He tips us off a lot on, hey, this kid, it would be good for your program. This kid won't be good for your program. He does that with a lot of.
He's a great
lot of
resource.
schools. Yes, he's a great
Yep.
resource. So I would push any of our kids to there.
Yep.
You know, the higher end academic kids, there's show ball and what's that other
Head
one?
First.
Head First. But again, those type of showcases come with a game too.
Yeah, which are nice.
Which are important.
Yeah, and for kids, you know, you can pay anywhere from $500 to $1,000 for those. But, like, take Head First, for example. I mean, they run, I think, 5 or 6 sessions now on Long Island.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have anywhere from 70 to 150 coaches
A lot of coaches will
who
go.
are attending and evaluating and watching. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's something that those guys do a fantastic job with it. So, but there's a bunch of other ones too. If you can look around and you'll see there are a lot of new ones that run academic only. So like
Yes.
doing them for academic kids where they are, you know, they're gearing it toward the kids at 3-3 or better.
Well, again, some schools, you know, in Divisions 3, some schools in Division 2, and your Ivy Leagues, your higher end academic schools, they want those kids.
Right.
So they limit these to those type of players to help the coaches
Right.
out. I mean, that's what it's for. That's what it's for.
And I know like a place like Head First, that, you know, Duke is coming up.
Yep.
I mean, you're getting ACC
Yes.
schools coming up, because they have kids that, you know, they're not just average kids. I mean, these kids, some of these kids can really throw.
Right.
Can really play.
But at that level, you still have to play.
Absolutely.
You need to play.
Absolutely. And so showcases, how does that factor in for you guys specifically for Bridgeport?
Showcases, we'll try to get names.
So before the showcase?
We'll try to get them,
Yeah.
you know, some will give the roster
Yep.
of kids, but when we go to a showcase, basically, it's for us to start taking names.
Right.
Taking names,
Right.
see who we might wanna follow.
Yep.
You know, there are some showcases that are a waste of money,
Yep.
you know.
So what would you collect, so would you say that, like, what is that, that's good for these guys to hear,
Well, you know, there's some that nobody's going.
okay?
You know, that's why you have to do your homework.
Yeah.
Who's going, what schools are gonna be in attendance, and what's their outcome
Yeah.
like? I mean, are kids getting seen
Right.
by these showcases?
Right, yeah, and you know, it's the reputation of them, you know, if a group has a reputation of having quality kids at
Mhm.
their events, the coaches come.
Right.
You
I
know?
mean, when I was at Quinnipiac, it was blue chips.
Yeah.
Everything was blue chips, everything was blue
Yeah.
chips. And then all of a sudden, blue chips started going straight downhill.
Yeah.
I mean, like, bad.
Yeah, you don't hear much about them anymore, I don't know if they're still around.
No, I don't know if they're still around, but they were just getting worse talented kids.
Right.
And it became a useless trip for
Yeah.
us.
It's a, you know, it's definitely a market where, you know, the units that do it, some of them provide a great service and they make money. And so
Right.
there's more people trying to jump into
And some of
that
them are
business.
thieves.
And some of them, yeah, like they're trying, but they're not able to,
Right.
you know, they're not able to get quality kids to the events, again, which is gonna bring the coaches there, so. But I think the important thing you really said is just ask, you know,
Yeah.
sometimes just, signing up, you know, ask kids, if you know kids that are a year older that went through the circuit.
Right.
Ask your coaches,
Mhm.
you know, and just do some homework on it. So from showcases, you know, because they're nice. It's like a one-stop shop where you'll see a skill piece
Yep.
in the beginning. You're going to run the 60.
Yeah, the 60, you're gonna play defense,
Yep.
you're gonna throw the ball, you're gonna hit, you're gonna take 7 to 10 swings,
Yep.
and then you're gonna play a game.
Yeah. The only thing about a showcase, it's really, you know, a skills-based endeavor. You play a game, and usually it's a modified game. You start with a
Modified,
one-on-one
yeah.
count. You don't always get a chance to see how tough a kid is
Correct.
in those situations.
No.
You
No.
know, it's hard because as a pitcher, it's a huge advantage to have start with one-on-one count.
Yes.
Huge advantage.
Yes.
Without the guy seeing a break ball or a fastball yet. So you don't know.
Pitchers have the advantage in those games because they're throwing 1 to 2 innings.
Right.
So then the next time you come up, you're facing another
Different guy.
pitcher. You're facing another guy.
Yeah.
So I think they have a little bit better
Yep.
advantage.
Yep.
But again, we're just there, that's where we make initial,
Yep.
you know, judgments.
And that, you know, we've had guys where, and again, no, and so sometimes kids are like, all right, coach saw me, he liked me at such and such a showcase, and.
Now we're gonna follow up.
Yeah, they, you know, they wanna come and see you play at a tournament game, or they wanna come see a high school game.
Right.
And usually, unless you're an off the charts, you know, 92, 93, and, you know, you can see it, but if you're like that between guy, we talked about those guys, the 82, 84 guys, there's a lot of them.
Right.
You know, and you liked some of the things you saw, you know, projectability, all right, I'm throwing 82, 84 now, but you're 6'3", you're lean, you can put on some mass, you might throw harder. And that's the other thing I think, you know, players need, you know, you're looking at a kid, not for today.
No, we're looking down the road.
He's really not gonna compete for you for almost 2 years.
Right,
When you see
especially
him-
now.
Right, when you see him as a junior, in a junior summer,
Right,
he's not competing for you until almost 2 years in March.
right.
Right, of 2 years. So you're looking at it and say, all right, it's not so much where is he now, but what's he gonna be?
It's a guessing game.
Yeah. Well, you know, how much homework do you guys do finding, because I get a lot of calls on what type of kid he's.
Yeah.
What type of families it come from. You know,
Where was he, compared to where he is now?
Right.
You know, you could try to gear what he's gonna be like. You know, but it's still a guessing game.
Yeah.
It's all a guessing game.
so, and let's go to, you know, institutional camps, because these are the ones where I think now everybody runs them.
Everybody's running them first and foremost to make money.
And what's an institutional camp? An institutional camp is a camp that's,
At an institution.
Right, so-
University X is
Yeah.
hosting an institutional camp.
Yeah.
They're gonna call everybody and anybody to come and pay $400 or $500 to be seen in their
right,
environment.
right.
It's for the schools, it's for the programs to make money. That's their fundraising.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Yep.
Division II, I don't understand why we would we don't do an institutional camp.
Right.
I don't have to. I could bring you in for a tryout.
Right.
Why am I
Which
gonna-
Division II is the only conference, you can't do that in Division
Correct.
III, you can't do it in Division I, but you can go in, you can practice with your team.
Right,
Right.
right. So why would I wanna, I mean, that is stealing money.
Yeah.
If I did an institutional camp,
Right.
knowing that I have the ability to do it.
Yeah.
But schools do it for fundraising.
So there's a kid that's out there and he says, because, you know, we get it sometimes, hey, he invited me to my camp, he invited me to their camp,
Yeah,
you know, and they're excited, and it's like, well, okay, ask them where they've seen you before,
yep.
all right?
Yeah.
Like, what, I mean,
It's hard,
Yeah.
it's hard. I mean, UConn, they do 2 or 3 institutional camps, throughout the year.
those are big,
Those are huge.
they have like a couple hundred kids
Huge.
on them, right?
But they also invite every single college coach on there.
Right.
Some schools don't. The NESCAC schools, Tufts, they'll do an institutional camp, but they're inviting all the other NESCACs.
Oh, they are?
Yes, they
Okay.
do. Yes, they do. kind of help each other, like Yale does.
Yep, I know
Yale
John
does
brings
it,
it.
and they bring the Ivies in,
Yep.
they'll bring the NESCACs in.
Yep.
So it does help sometimes.
So that's something as a player you should ask.
Some schools don't
Right.
invite anybody.
And that's,
else.
if your son or daughter is, and you get that situation, ask that question.
Right.
Hey, are there any other coaches that you invite?
Some do not, some do not. But then again, you're gonna go to the institutional camp, it's gonna be a showcase, it's gonna be a game,
Yeah.
it's gonna be in front of their coaching staff.
Yeah.
You're gonna do a tour of the campus, you're gonna get to talk to the coaching staff about the school. It's almost like an open house.
Right.
That's basically what it is.
Well, tell the guys too, it's like, I don't think college coaches are always looking at it this way, but in some ways, they're trying out
They're
as
trying,
well,
yes.
but some of them don't try.
Right.
And I think it's kind of indicative to say, okay, like, how is this college program run? Like, you go to the camp, is it well organized, are guys moving, what's getting done? And I know we put a lot, Mikey and you, we design all the practice for the high school guys.
Right.
A lot of guys go back and they're like, our practice was hard. So, well, yeah,
Yes.
we run our 15-year-olds through college workouts, and it doesn't mean we're not running you making you puke, but it's organized, and there are, it's a lot of funds that we're hitting on defense. And
Yes.
so I think when you go to some of these events as a player, you're evaluating the school, or how does this
Right.
coach run his program?
You could see it.
Yeah.
You could see what's going on.
Yeah, how much attention to detail is there? And so, again, you guys don't do the institutional camps, but I know
No.
that, there are some situations for players where they like a guy, and they'll invite him because maybe they want to get that last eval on him, and they'll invite him to camp. And, if it's affordable, I think it's a good place if you already have a relationship
Right.
with the coach.
Yeah,
You
no,
know who you are.
I think that they're very beneficial.
Yeah.
They're very beneficial, but again, you gotta pick and choose,
Right.
otherwise you're gonna go broke.
Right, that's right.
So I would pick the schools that you're absolutely looking at.
Right. And speaking of money, because none of this stuff is free.
Correct.
You can spend, and I think it's important for players and their families to sit down and decide, how much are we gonna spend?
I think you gotta set a budget early.
Because you could spend $10,000.
Easily.
It's crazy, between travel,
Yes,
right?
easily.
And say, okay, and I think the other important thing to do before you go to any of these events is to say, find somebody who's knowledgeable and evaluating talent, not just a coach, somebody who's been in the business, somebody who understands, has been able to see players kind of go from level to level, and some successful, some not, and find out, all right, how good am I?
Yeah, well, I think, that's why I think our program does it the best. I mean, we put kids in the right schools, at all three different levels.
I think the good thing is when our kids, they finish
Yes.
playing, they don't go to a place and they don't transfer.
No,
And I know we talk a lot about this. Sometimes kids are overshooting. You're a Division III player,
right.
and that's okay. Because
There's
there's
nothing wrong
good
with that.
Division III baseball,
There's great Division III baseball.
right? A lot of times you're
Yes.
just, I think it's another. Kids need to understand that the situation. It doesn't stay. It's always
No.
moving. You're always getting better. So, but you may be coming into the recruiting process at your age. You may have been put in school early by your family, and you're a year too young.
Yeah.
And so, as a recruit, you're a Division III player, but 3 years from now, you're in a Division III school, but you have Division I talent.
Yeah,
And the good Division III schools, they're good at identifying those.
yes, they are, yes, they are.
They're good at it. So it's always fluid, and it's always good to ask questions to say, all right, like, where am I? What
Yeah,
school should I
ask as many questions as you can.
So, all right, Coach, anything else? Are we
No,
feeling good?
feeling good,
Feeling good. Me too.
good.
The sun's out. It's a beautiful week this week.
Yeah, gotta work on my tan.
I like it. Feeling good. Guys, have a good week. Finish school strong. Coach, we enjoyed doing this. It's nice. We sit and chat.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys find it helpful. But all this stuff is basically kind of bringing you in the mind of a Division II coach. You've been at all three levels.
Yep.
So
It's been fun.
get a chance to pick the brain. So, all right, guys. Thank you.
All right.